So one thing that I have been very, very, very fortunate, and I say fortunate, but also I have put myself in these rooms. Last year, I invested almost, might have actually just been a little bit over $500,000 in cash in big spaces, big masterminds, big conversations. Like all of that was towards my own development. And I've always done that, but not obviously to that big extent. But whether it was reading a book or sometimes when I didn't have the money, I would volunteer at an event just to be in the room, like that that piece of like you are who you surround yourself with, it is so big and it can be so true. But what I have learned is that it's not just get in the room. It's not just invest in a mastermind or purchase the program or do the thing that's going to get you in the room with the people that you want to be surrounded with. It's how do you let that environment change something in you? Because I know so many people that have had everything. They have had the knowledge, the wisdom, the intelligence. They've had access to people that have done incredible things, but they've invested from the space of like, well, I'm in the room and that's it. And it's more about how it looks to be in the room than it actually is being in the room. And you can see this from a mile away. These are the people that are posting, I'm in the room, and they're telling everyone how they're in the room, but it's like, but who are you in the room? Is there a look at me, pick me, choose me energy, see me energy, or is there a I'm in the room? And what can I learn in this room? What can I absorb? What kind of questions can I ask in this room? How can I integrate the knowledge so I stay in the room? Because anyone can purchase a room. Most rooms you can access through funds or through connections or resources. But it's like, how do you stay in the room? And how do you move once you are in the room? And so when I hear things like get in the room and invest in yourself and move towards the things and absorb the knowledge, it's like that's true. But there have been times, and I've even had clients of mine that they've come in similar levels. They've both invested the same amount to be in the room. And then one goes like this, and the other stays stuck. And it's like, why is that? And I've spent a lot of time thinking about that. Why is it that some people just get it? And I'm like, is it me? Have I changed? And I'm like, no, they had the same information. Our calls are different because someone's moving differently, but the same information, the same access to the same resources, they all have its equal amount. But one person is like, I am the one, and I'm choosing to let everything I see and observe expand me. And I don't just hear something, I hear it and then I move with that. I don't just learn a new skill set, I then move with what I learn inside of that skill set. And it's a transmutation of like knowledge, but I'm gonna go move with this knowledge, and that becomes their own intelligence, and there's an energy about that. Whereas other people, they hear the knowledge and like, oh, that sounds good. Maybe I'll do that. And they sit there and they think just because they're in proximity through osmosis, their lives are going to change, their business is going to change. And it just doesn't work that way. Something that I believe in is like environments don't actually change you. A new environment doesn't change you. But what it will do is it will reveal to you, if you're open, if you're aware, it will reveal to you certain things that you can do, certain actions you need to take, certain mindsets you might need to kind of try on and absorb, certain codes that you're all of a sudden you're starting to see things differently, certain limitations that you need to transcend. Environments will reveal certain things to you, but at the end of the day, you're the one that needs to change with those. So environments don't change who you are. Environments reveal who you are. And from there, you have the power to change. And I see so often environments revealing who people truly are. And some people are like, I'm just going to stay here and let the environment do all the work. And then other people are like, okay, I see it now. I'm putting myself in an environment and I see why I'm not there yet. Or I let myself lean into a space where it's uncomfortable, but it's like, I'm going to put myself in the room. I'm going to ask the questions. I'm going to find out what the missing piece is for me. I'm going to let it be revealed, and then I'm going to choose to change. I think sometimes there's definitely this paradigm, there's definitely this mindset that a lot of people have of like, oh, just get in the room and the room will do the work. And I was having a conversation about this the other day. I'm in an experience right now that I feel so lucky to be a part of. And I've invested to be in that room. I've showed up to those rooms no matter what, huge different time zones. You know, another example is a mastermind I'm in. I've never missed a call, never missed a call. And I'm so in that space. I don't just expect that I invested X amount to be in the room. It's just going to change me. It's like I show up all of the time to those rooms. But I was having this conversation. I was like, it's crazy how many people just aren't showing up. And these aren't people that are highly successful, that have all the results, and they're like, I'm too busy. It's like, no, these are people that, you know, are wanting to change their life, but it's like they're not doing the basics. Like, how can you be revealed knowledge when you're not even there? You haven't even shown up. And I know not everyone has access to different rooms and different circles, but you have access, even this platform right here. So much knowledge is on this platform. So much knowledge is in libraries, and people do free experience and content. Like, there is everything you need to know. But sometimes people are very unwilling to, this is the thing, people are unwilling to see that the problem is actually them. The problem is always us. It's kind of the most humbling but beautiful thing, because if the problem is you, the solution is you. And so often, and this is a conversation, right? This is not hard and fast. The problem is always you, but so often we are the only ones in the way. We are the only ones in the way, because no matter what your circumstances are, there will always be someone that has it worse. There's always a story about how someone went from here and they went from there and they had nothing. But they didn't let that be the reason why. They chose to let their environment, and they would put themselves in rooms and they would do whatever it took to go and move and rewrite the story of where they were going. And so the intention of sharing this, one, it was just on my mind too. I see so many people that have access to everything, and they sit on the sidelines and they're waiting and they're waiting and they're waiting. And you just don't have time to keep waiting, because there's big things inside of you and there's greatness inside of you. But it's like, one, what rooms can you be placing yourself in? And how can you be moving with these environments? What can you let these environments reveal to you? And can you move? Do you have the courage to really humble yourself and to really observe what's happening around you? You know, why? How can someone be so plugged into their work that they're showing up in this way? And what we've got to do as well is we have to look at people as humans. No one is that special. I've said this before, I am not that special. The reason why I can show up every single day is I don't unplug. I don't circumstantially show up as this way and then I plug out. I am this way all of the time. My mind is like this all of the time. I'm having these conversations, whether I'm on this platform or not, I'm having these conversations all of the time. And so it doesn't take a lot of energy for me to sit down, put my light on, and press record. It just doesn't take a lot of energy. Whereas if someone has to try to be something, it takes so much energy because they have to get in the zone. I'm always in the zone. Like, you can learn a lot from that. And so instead of, what I think what people do is they sit on the sidelines and they will judge people, or they will pull them down, or they will try and find a reason why they're special, instead of like, what can I learn from these people? How do I understand the mindset behind how do you move like that? Like, there's so much to uncover. And so, how can you get in some big rooms? Whether you invest in these rooms or whether you absorb intelligence and knowledge and you do whatever it takes to be in certain rooms, it doesn't even have to be a room with people. Sometimes it's just an internal environment that you build for yourself. It's like you build a big context for your life. And that's another thing you can do. It's what's the vision of your life? Where are you going? What are you building? What lives within you? And can you build that as this internal reality? And can you respond to it? Can you amplify it? Can you let that expand you until you see it in your external world? That's a whole nother conversation, but we'll have that conversation one day on here. This is it today. I want you to just like really contemplate how often you might go into a new environment just expecting that to be enough. It's not. It's like if it was that easy, everyone would just invest in a room and be transformed. You have to lean into this. You've got to let these rooms change you. You've got to be willing to let go of who you've been. Because so often who you've been, it's like that's a direct indication your entire life. Everything you have now, everything you see now, everything you experience now is a result of who you've been in the past. If you don't like your current reality, that's on you. That's on you to change who you've been. And this is how, as you start to realize that, as you start to uncover that, it's no longer being the victim in our own stories. It's now being the one in our own stories, knowing that you're the one that changes everything. It's like, who are you? Who are you? Not who you've been. Who are you? Not based on the evidence in the past. Who are you? Where are you going? What are you building? And it's small change, small adaptation, realign, reignite, reimagine. Next time you move yourself into a certain environment, notice. Notice who you are. Notice who you're becoming. Notice what's happening around you. Lean in. If you're not where you want to be yet, there's so much you can learn. Don't look at the result and try and attach yourself to, but I need that result. That result is an indication of who someone has been, their mindset, how they've moved. These are the things you want to be looking at. Not how do I get the exact result that you have. It's how do I be someone where that result is just a byproduct of who I am. That is the question.